Hello and welcome back to another episode of Hitting the Bars. It's Kelty on the ones and twos, right virtually next to Savvy Wavy One. How you doing?
I'm great. I love how my old Twitter name is now my nickname on a podcast.
Yep, it is now. You're never going to live it down. Never going to live it down.
Savvy Wavy One. I'm good though. Yep. My mother and one of her good friends are visiting me on the island, and that's been really enjoyable. I'm going to treat them to lychee martinis. Ladies, you know it's my fave tonight for their birthdays. Because they both have like March birthdays. So I was like, oh, okay, martinis on me tonight for your little last hurrah.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Do you want to hear what I looked up this weekend? That's what I was just pulling my phone out for.
What'd you look up?
So I had a couple drinks on Saturday night. Nothing too crazy. Okay. I woke up like a little sleepy, not hungover. But have you ever drank and you have that off, like food tastes weird the next day? Like you can't really drink water, like a coffee. You just get that like icky metallic taste in your mouth. Have you ever gotten that?
Not off the top of my head, but I'm sure it happened.
Okay, that's my like usual hangover thing. Like sometimes a little nauseous, food cures it. Sometimes I just have like, nothing tastes good. So I asked ChatGPT why we have the metallic taste. So would you like to know why you have the metallic taste in your mouth, according to ChatGPT?
Yes. Why?
It's either dehydration, changes in your body's pH level, or the breakdown of alcohol in your liver. And then it just goes off to number one, dehydration, dry mouth can have a metallic taste. Furthermore, the liver has a important role in breakdown alcohol, obviously. And when it metabolizes it, I think we've all heard of that. It makes that acetyl chloride or acetaldehyde or whatever that is that breaks down. And that can have a metallic taste in your mouth. So that was just like, I've never actually had a really relevant thing to use ChatGPT for, except for like just for fun. And I was like, actually, that was pretty informative. And that is why you have an icky taste in your mouth.
Well, that's fascinating. The more you know. I just discovered what is it called? ChatGPT?
Yeah. When did you discover it?
Like a month ago. I am a grandma with technology. And so Michael was like, why don't you use this? And I was like trying to come up with ideas, like creative ideas. And I was like, what is this thing? And I was baffled, and he thought it was hilarious. I'd never used it before.
You like came out at the same time Google came out with Bard. You still haven't figured out ChatGPT.
Literally. I know. He was laughing. I was like, oh, God. But, slowly I'm getting with the times. But that's really cool. I didn't even know you could ask it questions like that.
Oh, yeah. No, we asked it, write a YouTube script for Kelty O'Connor. And it was pretty bang on. It was pretty great. Like, it was like, there's a couple things that it got very wrong about me. But in general, I was like, you know what? This is semi-usable. Like, that's how crazy it is.
It's kind of creepy.
Didn't even know. That might be my biggest flex. ChatGPT knew who I was. I was like, oh,
that is a
put that on a resume.
Flex. I don't even want to look if it knows me. I don't think it does.
Next time, I'm going to ask, why is Kelty the worst? Or just like something like that. Just see
why is Kelty canceled?
Yeah. I'm going to be like, I find out some Reddit.
Yeah, I was going to say, it comes up with some Reddit thing and you're like, oh no, I had no idea.
Yeah, I'm not going down that road. I'm not going down.
We've all learned
my mental health.
Never go on Reddit. Bro, you want to hear something crazy? So I feel like I have I think you do too. Anybody that kind of exposes their life online has this soft side for people that, even like Hailey Bieber, that go through these hard things where, they're getting bullied online, whether, whatever they did was mean or not, whatever. It's hard. And we all, if you have your life online, you've all read a really mean thread about you or a comment.
Yeah.
I just don't even look anymore because you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. There is a girl from my sorority that is on a very famous show at this moment. And she's currently like trending on TikTok for being a mean girl. And that's all I'm going to say. And people can figure it out if they want to. But I know her from, she was in my sorority. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was watching the show and, I was like, yeah, I mean, I also was in a sorority with her. So like sorority girls are kind of like petty already with things all the time. Yeah. It's just known when you live in a house of 60 girls. And she honestly wasn't mean at all. Like, I didn't think she was mean. But
did you just slip up and tell her name?
No, I didn't say she was mean.
Oh, you say, okay, I see what you're saying. I thought
I mean,
you were trying not to say your name. They say your name.
I'm not going to say her name, no. But I still even am like, that just sucks. Like, that just sucks to have that, no matter what. And I was just talking to my mom about it. I'm like, you are always a villain, no matter the storyline in somebody's life. And we've talked about that so many times. Like, if it's a fallout, like, we all are a villain at some point, and it just really sucks if you're a villain on TV.
Oh, that it's so tough because even this week I'm talking about Gwyneth Paltrow on my YouTube video, and like the one thing I'm conflicted with, like the entire time, I'm like, it just depends on the person. Like to some people she would be the villain, in some situations she's the victim of like how it's like, because how what she says can hurt someone, but I mean, no matter what you say, people are going to take different ways. Some people that'd be helpful, some it won't. And like when you're talking in mass scale, the internet just like spreads you out to so many people, but there'll always be someone that disagrees with you. And it just sucks. And that's even like why I kind of defended Hailey I think it was last week or the week before. I can't remember. Week before. Because I'm like, what happened if she's not? What happened if this is all this coincidence and we're destroying this girl's mental health? You know what I mean? Like it's different if it's like Jeffrey Epstein, cancel him, make him burn. It's been proven in court. Like, take it down, make his life. But aside from that, if we're not like 100% positive, can we just, you know what I mean? I'm always like, I always just worry. Like sometimes I catch myself always wanting to look at the other side because I'm like, I can't think of anything worse in life than being wrongly accused of something.
Absolutely.
Like it's one thing if you murder someone, yeah, you did it. You did the crime. But if you didn't and you were accused of it, I can't think of anything worse. I can't think of anything worse.
Yeah, I agree. And I just think it would be so hard to go on a reality TV show these days because you have just like TikTok. That's just a whole new beast. That thing, you know, people can turn off comments on Instagram and that's about it. Think of it back in the day and they could probably read forums. But they could at least like keep it out of sight. TikTok, you can't hide that stuff like you could on Instagram. So they're probably seeing these horrible videos. I'm just like, no human. I guess it depends on the severity, like you said, if they're a horrible human. But like this kind of stuff, reality TV show, dating, I'm like, at the end of the day, I think at some point somebody has felt a certain way about a situation and maybe that she just doesn't know how to handle it. Maybe, you know. It's just showing. It's just unfortunate it's on TV. Sometimes I'm like, I've been watching The Bachelor. Okay. I'm really excited for the finale. And we were watching, one of the girls like kind of just had this breakdown where she was like really insecure and crying and saying like, I feel really insecure on the show that you're dating all these other women. And my friends and I always get together and we watch it and we're like, but that's a show. They're dating other women. But she was just bawling and I was like, would you be honest or would you fake it and like wait to tell him in a fantasy suite privately between you and him? Because then this girl now exposed her like deepest vulnerabilities and insecurities on national television for everybody to know. And I just think there's something so, it just sounds horrible to me. I'm just like, oh my God, no, you couldn't pay me to do that. Well, you probably could.
Like that's like, everyone has a price. Like I was like, $10 million, Kelty, you go on the internet and just pretend to be reality TV show and be the villain. I'm like, get done. $10 million that will pay my kids. Like,
you're not telling me you want to do it for $1 million, 500,000. What's your limit?
I would do it for honestly $50K and just let me have a confession at the end. Be like, P.S. I pulled a Paris Hilton. That was all a scam. I would film like a ton of YouTube videos ahead of time, be like, here's my game plan. I'm going in the villain. You guys are going to find it super entertaining. I'm making great television and I'm selling my soul for $50,000.
I love it. And then they cut you. They chop it up.
And that'd be So, but you know what? If I had to sell my whole entire, like, you will be hated by the earth for the rest of your life. Okay. Then it's got to be like 10 million. But, if I could.
Oh, yeah, because then you can kind of like peace out. Get hated by Earth and then just go live somewhere else.
Just buy some real estate, put it in stocks. My kids are safe. I'm safe. And then I'm like, I'll just move to Zimbabwe or something.
Yeah. Also, I think a fantastic thing about this day and age and those people that deal with it, and even when we get like mean forums or whatever, no, you're not going to remember it. Nobody's going to remember it in time. Like, I don't know how long, but I just think of, what happens in 10 years. I'm not going to remember that. Like, I'm going to remember a good memory of something else, or like the people in my life that make me feel great, you know? So it really sucks in the moment, and I'm shocked there hasn't been like a better structure for those reality shows, because I feel like it's dangerous for those people, especially if they don't get help. But like, yeah, I don't know how we've gotten that. I'm just baffled at reality TV and the hate. Oh, I was talking about the girl that I know. Yeah. And even then, I'm like, she just doesn't deserve that. Like, it sucks that, you know, X, Y, and Z may have happened, but like, I don't think that necessarily makes her a bad person, you know? But Jess shouldn't have done it. Like, how do you not know cameras are looking at you? How do you not know this is going to be problematic? This is my question for these people. It's like, Michael was like, maybe she's doing it on purpose. And I'm like, she must.
That's what I think.
Because you cannot be an idiot and be a mean girl on national television and think people won't hate you. Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. And also, you just don't know how things are edited.
Yes.
Things are so scripted. Like, if you've ever talked about like the Real Housewives and like seen how they're filmed, like it's not scripted, but they like retake everything. Like, literally, and the producers, like, people don't realize the producers like, okay, go talk to this person about that, and then they whisper in your ear and they're like, oh, just kidding, did you hear what she just said? You have to respond to that. And then you go respond, and like, it's all scripted, not by the people, but by the producers and editors telling you what to do, telling you go refilm it. And also, I've heard of like reality television stars, like a lot of them will hold their foot down. They'll be like, no, I'm not saying this, and they'll just keep pounding them. They've been on set for 10 hours, they're hungry, they're exhausted, and they find like, fine, I'll tell her I hate her guts, and then they tell her, and then in that moment, you know what I mean? Totally. So you just, it could be true, but I just don't believe anything. I'm like, you're playing a villain. I see, you're going to be Instagram famous for it.
If you ever want like the truth, I think Christine Quinn's interview with Call Her Daddy was fascinating. And who knows? I don't know what's true. At the end of the day, I don't really care. But I was like fascinated at the stories she would say that's like actually the truth versus what was fake. And like, she was so funny. She was like, yeah, this breaks the contract. Like, we're not allowed to speak about this. But she's like, I'm so rich now. I like, come at me with my lawyers. And I'm like, this girl's hilarious.
She's the perfect example of like going in, I'm playing the villain, and you're welcome for this great television I've created for you to watch and be entertained.
The show's like, boring without her. Like,
I haven't watched it since she left.
Bring Christine back. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I love it.
And her outfits.
Well, this perfectly I wish, like, imagine just rolling up on a Monday with like a full pink latex suit. I'm like, I respect it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's like from Prada. I'm like over here, like,
yeah,
with a Louis Vuitton bag, a single bag I have, and I'm like, this is my splurge. Yeah. She's just decked.
Same. I've saved up for 5 years, treated myself to one every day. It's like, oh, which one of the day? She has ones to match her outfits. Yes. That's how you know you have money. When you have a purse to match every outfit. I was like, I have one purse and everything else I have to buy has to match it.
It's black, so it goes with anything.
Yep. Perfect. Nude. Same idea. Yeah. On that note, let's transition into, we kind of mentioned before, pop culture headlines. So we just kind of thought, it'd be fun. Some are a little fitnessy, but let's get pop culture-y.
Let's do it.
I mean, we've talked a lot of wellness. It was New Year's resolutions. We all did it. We've done it for 3 months. We reward ourselves. It's time to just binge some pop culture things. And there's nothing better than the ultimate pop culture fiasco of this year is Selena and Hailey we're talking about again, because they forgave each other. I never thought the internet would happen. They followed each other. They're making Instagram stories, and it was all for nothing. The internet was consumed by something that was nothing for weeks, as per usual.
But boy, was it fascinating as a consumer.
Yeah. It's one of those things that you're like, I'm like, thank you for that. You know what? The internet's boring when there's not drama. So sometimes I'm like, YouTube used to be the Wild Wild West when there was drama every weekend, people canceling each other. And don't lie, it was entertaining as a consumer. I was a consumer back then.
Oh, and then it got so old.
Oh, and then it became all fabricated, like we said. And then we see through it and it's all fake. And it's like, Or things like this start to happen. We start to just, Selena and Hailey pin each other and cause all this. And it turns out it was just a bunch of coincidences. I think Selena maybe, I don't even know what to think. I was like, is Selena always thinking everything's about her? And that sounds mean. I sound very petty when I say that. Or is it always about her? I don't know.
I honestly don't know. I don't know what to think. I consumed a lot of it because my TikTok was full of that and Taylor Swift. So,
Yeah.
of course, since I love
Same.
watching the Eras Tour, it was going to go to Selena. And
Of course.
I don't know. All I know is Hailey Bieber definitely got exposed for her love for Justin Bieber, which doesn't make her a bad person. She
No.
just was a teenager that loved Bieber, just like we all did.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Even the makeup thing, how Kylie's coming out with a mascara, and that was the
Yeah.
I just don't know what to believe. But I think it's good that they settled it so they can move on. I think there's people that will not move on from it. Like they somehow find everything. Even like Selena was wearing a wedding dress for Murders in the Building. Great show, by the way.
Yeah.
Filming, and they like were like, "Ooh, is Hailey gonna rebuttal and post a wedding photo?" And I just was like,
Oh, God.
it's never ending."
Here's my stance, at least, and I could be wrong, but here's what I'm thinking. The Selena army is just on the prowl. They are at the next level of like FBI, CIA, move aside. They're next level. And every day they're monitoring Hailey Bieber until there's a coincidence. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that there's these coincidences. I think they're just waiting for anything that's similar between these two girls. And naturally things are going to be similar between two girls in the public eye. Like they're very, like in a niche little bubble. Do you know what I mean? So eventually things are going to collide, and every time they collide, and then it turns out to be nothing. Like I do it with the mascara. It's like, oh, why are we looking? Yeah. Kylie, her best friend, released mascara. Like no one thought that was coming. And then the internet though was like, she just released the mascara because of the drama. I'm like, oh God, the internet.
I know. I'm like, there's no way that's possible.
No, physically impossible.
I think, yeah. Honestly, I posted 2 clips from our podcast on TikTok and got so many haters that were not even so many, okay, because we don't have a lot of followers on TikTok. But it was funny. They would like find it for the For You page, and like immediately they get defensive of whatever. I think you said like, of course they're going to have similarities. Like they grew up and they're around the same age. And so many people were like, that's not even what it's about. And they were going ham. And I was like, dang, it is the Wild West now on TikTok, not YouTube.
Yeah, that's why I like my YouTube, my safe little place that everyone gives me 20 minutes to get a point, not 20 seconds. I was like, I can say both sides, watch the whole thing. That's why I like YouTube. I'm
also happy for people that the YouTube cancellation thing stopped. Like,
yes,
for a while, it was just like these accounts would just like, it was pure clout. Like they wanted the name in a review that would be, you had it so many times happen to you. And it's just like, that's harmful and that's hurtful. And like, that's just ick. Those people give me the ick. That's all I'm going to say.
I do think as consumers, we've finally gotten to a place. It's not perfect, as proven by this whole drama, but it used to be we just canceled celebrities and influencers or people on YouTube and just like never thought about the person. We just instantly like, you have public eye, canceled. And then like, because we were worried about the consumer, because for so long those people would feed us stuff that wasn't helpful, whether it be like magazine articles that were bad. And so then we started attacking them. We realized like, oh, there's a human on the other side, and let's see it from their perspective. And now like, I think we're kind of in this nice place of like, it's not perfect, but people talking in the public eye are aware of their audience and influence, and the people who are consuming it realize it's just a person. And we're kind of in this balance of like, oh, we're all human. We're trying to do the best. It's not going to be perfect. And like, I think there's just a bit more understanding on both sides, which is nice. Like, don't cancel people just to cancel them. And on the flip side, like, be careful what you say. You might get canceled.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. That was a good way to put it.
Yeah, but who knows? That could change. People get moody and bored.
Yeah, round 2. Yeah, it's like wave. It's like a trend or something.
Right? Speaking of round 2, let's head to headline 2 of Kim Kardashian shared her workout routine. I think it was this weekend, Sunday. So I think it was a bunch of Instagram stories. And I thought we'd just like dive into it a little bit because I got some thoughts about Skims. So she posted like 4 slides, and one was her just saying she's working out a lot. Here's her workout routine. She's working out 2 hours of weights 5 to 6 times a week. Exercise such as banded squats. She called them step ups. It just really looked more like an elevated lunge because it was just like on a little step, not like a full step up. But there's some things I liked, and we'll dive more into it. And she said like her goal right now is to gain some muscle and strength. And I think she's posting this because she released workout gear with Skims last week. Have you had a chance to look at it?
No, I haven't looked at the workout gear, but I did just buy more bras from them.
Oh, Skims
they
bras
just came. They are phenomenal. They are
the best.
I rave. I literally was just telling my mom and her friend, I was like, they are phenomenal. I have if anybody wants to try them, I think it's cotton triangle bralette.
Yeah.
Those are, I have 3 now of every, like, of black, white, and gray. And I wear them every single day to go to bed, everything. And then I also bought their wireless push-up plunge bra.
Ooh.
I have a hot take on that one. So I wouldn't call it a push-up bra unless you have maybe, I don't know, larger boobs or something. But like, I don't really think it pushed them up. But I do love it is padded, like soft padding. So like you're not nipping, where in the cotton one, it can show. So this one does give you a little bit more of a lift. And I just wouldn't say it's like push up, and it's so comfortable because there's no wire. So 10 out of 10 recommend it. If you want a like kind of like t-shirt everyday bra, and like you could wear a nice bra, and I wear it with like this white tank top I'm wearing right now. I'm not wearing a bra at the moment because I'm too hot in my room. I don't have AC in here, so I just sweat for you guys. I just truly sweat down. But yeah, I literally threw it to the side.
I love it. Can confirm all my pajamas, Skims. The 3 robes, I have the same robe,
Really?
Skim robe in Sweden and Canada, because I need it like every night. I use it, and it's same color, everything. I was like, I just need, and I don't want to lug a robe back and forth. I was like, I need it. All my bras, Skims. All my tank tops. Everyone sees me every video. I'm wearing a spaghetti tank top. Skims. I love Skims. So I was so pumped for this workout gear, because my mind, I was like, what is Kim known for? She's meant for like body sculpting, lifting, pushing. I was like, these leggings are going to give me the nicest butt, because like there's leggings that give you nicer butts than ones that not. I was like, oh, this has got to be Kim's thing. I'm gonna put this in, and there's gonna be like a little, you know, I know Gymshark actually does this pretty well compared to like other brands. Elfleet does it, Buff Bunny, of like really thinking about the seam to lift the butt. Lulu and like Aloe do it, but that's really not their claim to fame, is like, we're gonna make you the biggest butt, because it's not a lifting company, and lifters tend to want bigger butts. So I was like, Skims is going to be the combo of it all. It's going to lift the butt while be silky and compression. No. Big L on the slide. I was so upset. My butt was so flat in these leggings. I was like shook. And of course, like it doesn't take much to make my butt flat. I've worked very hard for the little butt I have, but genetics, you know what? I'm just not built for it. And
How much were the leggings?
This is the worst part. $195. And they flattened. That's why I was like, you don't charge me double Lulu and flattened my butt. I was so upset.
Oh my
That's why I was like,
gosh.
If they're $50, I'd be like, you know what? They're fine.
Totally.
The material was phenomenal. It was very silky, smooth. But here was my confusion with it. I got a small because I always size up in Skims, because I find like it suffocates me, and I'm normally an extra small. The whole time I was hiking up, because there's so much extra material around my waist. So I was like, oh, maybe I should have sized down. But there was like absolutely no room left for my butt. I was like, if I got down to extra small, they would have ripped. And I'm like, if my butt is like, I was like, who are these built for? And just to add to it, because I'm venting right now, there was no sports bra.
I was just going to say, all I see is clothes and lounge. And did you just go to leggings and pants?
No, they released it. It's called her like performance line. I don't know if it's a specific tab on Skims, but they have a tank top. So I got the tank top, but like Skims' whole thing is bras. Like that's what it started with. And
I was going to say, I'd be excited for a bomb sports bra that I could view like a, you know, Kim, don't steal my idea, but I could view like a off the shoulder. I am trying to find a cute off the shoulder sports bra.
Lulu. So, have you not tried the Lulu one?
No. Okay. I went to order the white and the brown, brown, because I'm into off the shoulder right now.
Yeah.
And they want it. I don't think they ship to Puerto Rico, but I've shipped things here.
Okay, after this, tell me your size. I'll pick you up. Like, they're everywhere. Like, that's all girls.
Perfect.
And like, that's why it's funny when you couldn't find it. I was like, every girl in Vancouver is wearing this bra. I have it in white. Me and Ash, we went to do a Jaybird class Saturday. She shows up in the black. I showed up in the white. Half the girl, like, everyone's rocking it. And everyone looks...
How supportive is it?
It's unbelievable. It doesn't fall down. It's super supportive.
I was wondering about that. Is my nipple going to pop out on the side?
No. No. And like this, I can only confirm because I've seen every bra size wear this bra now, and we're all wearing it. Really? So I'm like, Ash, like she's blessed by nature, so she's got some boobies. She's fine. And we did like jaybirds. We're like upside down, hanging there for weights. It's great. I just wouldn't run in it, but I haven't seen a girl that doesn't look stunning in it. It's such a flattering bra. It's
I'm
so
gonna
good.
try and buy it again after I get off this call.
Yeah. Try and buy it. If not, I'll pick it up on the way home. Like there's 20 trillion Lulus.
I'm just so impatient. I was going through it and I was like, this is so freaking cute. And so I was like, I'll just buy the white and I'll try it, I'll see if it fits, and then I'll order the brown. And I just got so excited. What size did you order? Because I was like, I'm usually small in Gymshark, and so it recommended a 6 with my boob size.
I would say because like I'm a 4, which is like extra small in Lulu. I usually end up buying a 6, and it's kind of baggy on me, but that's because I don't like any compression. I don't need any support. But technically I'm a 4, which is extra small.
So if you have some form of boob, 6.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I think 6 would be good. And I tried on the 6 and the 4, and they both fit me. It's just 4 is a lot more like oomph, like
tight.
I've supported.
Okay. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try and order it again. I ordered my sister-in-law something. So I was like, I tried so many times. And then I texted, there was another brand I was going to do. And I texted Kelty and I'm like, I'm shipping this to you because Kelty and I are going to get together soon. Yay! And I also, I'm curious if anybody has ever tried this brand, let me know. Kelty, have you tried it? It's like called Joanne Brown.
Actually, I know. I've had a shopping cart for 3 years with like 2 tank tops in there, and I haven't pulled the trigger
because they're so expensive.
Exactly. Morgan Rose, when she came to visit,
Maroney.
Okay. She what's it called? Me, her, and Taylor went for sushi, and she was wearing it. I was like, "How is it?" She's like, "Literally, all I'll wear now." So I've heard the hype is worth it, and it looked really cute on her. So I still haven't pulled it though. 2 years later, they're so expensive.
They're so expensive. That's where I was like, oh, and I've never ever seen anybody wear this brand. But years ago, I saw this brand and was like, this is beautiful. Yeah. One day I will buy this. And then now I'm like, because it's like $98 for like a bra, and I'm like, I can't do that. So I'm curious. Also, I'm on the Skims collection for leggings, and they have latex leggings, and there's just nothing in me that would ever want to wear that.
That's an allergy for me, so I would die.
Also, you would die. And
that sounds like my
I'd
hell.
be suffocated. My sweat wouldn't know where to go. I don't like tight things on me majority of the time, unless they're very, very comfy. And not about it.
Okay, that also brings me back to Skims. Reminds me, also another weird thing of the tank top confused me so much because it was a high neck, which I really like for girls who have as someone who formerly had big boobs. If you have them, you bend over, they can pop out. So the high neck's nice because it just you can bend everywhere. You're not worrying about things hanging out. But then there's also no padding, no support. So it's who is this for? It's half for the girls with no boobs, but then half for the girl with boobs. So when, as me, someone with absolutely no boobs wore it with that high neck, I look like I'm wearing my old competitive swimming race suits. You know, like the Michael Phelps? That's what I look like I'm wearing when I wear it. And especially because it's
Hot.
one whole thing. I'm like, cool. This is the look I was going for. Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps. I remember I was studying abroad in Spain. This is in college. And we had these roommates that were from different schools. I grew up in Washington. I went to Washington State University. I didn't know a single girl that had her boobs done in college because that was just I didn't know anybody in college like that. And so when we got these new roommates, one of my friends had it done, and there's nothing wrong. I got my boobs done too, but it wasn't really a big thing there. And so she had them. I didn't know. They looked super natural, and she's one of my best friends still to this day. Yeah. And she would wear these bodysuits, and I was like, oh, you look amazing. She looked curvy. Oh, she just looked so good. And I was like, oh, can I borrow it? And she's like, absolutely. And she gives me the one. I'm like, it looks so good on you. I put it on. I look like I'm a 5th grade gymnast. And I'm like, what? And I remember being like, why don't I look as good? And she goes, well, my boobs are fake. And I'm like, oh, it's boobs. Because I didn't have boobs. I was a double A. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't wear stuff like that. things. Like, yeah.
I think we just got to celebrate our, different bodies. I think one of my favorite things, and as long as I think this is important, we all have humor, and I like that this conversation is happening a bit more, like celebrating different body types, because me and my best friends, we're all so similar, but so polarly different, because we always joke when we go out to the club, it's like, what's your type of woman? And then we have one. Like, you can pick do you want tall? Do you want curvy? Whatever. Do you want athletic? And so it's so funny when we all are kind of the same size, but anything we put on is so drastically different. Like, for example, Ash will put it on. She'll look curvy and sultry and sexy. I'll put it on. I'm like, cool, 100-meter sprint. We're nice. Yeah, I was like, I'm really streamlined right now. And then, like, on the other side, like, I bought these, like, super low-rise jeans a little while ago. And I was like, oh, my God, I love these. And they were like, you could not catch me dead in those. And so, you know what I mean? And, like, just because, like, I happen to have long. So I think that's, you know what I mean? And I hope we all get to a place where and it took me a long time, but now it's not like a competition. It's not that they're better, but we could just acknowledge that, some things are going to look like absolute shit on me.
Yes.
And some are going to look really good. And we're all
I think
different.
It also, this just dawned on me, but like maybe it was also because back then all bodies were not celebrated. Think about it.
Yes.
Like you were the cute girl. You weren't the hot girl if you didn't have boobs, or if you couldn't wear this trendy outfit that gave you curves, and like, because media made it look like this is the norm body you should have. And I even think, which I don't even think you wrote this down as a headline, but I find it fascinating that Victoria's Secret is launching their Victoria's Secret like fashion show again, and they haven't done it in years. And honestly, I think I watched it maybe a few times in college, but like that was like so unrealistic. All those girls' bodies were like, they were stunning, don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
But for me, I was like, that college girl that I was like, I don't understand. Like, I don't fit in with that group. I can't wear bras from Victoria's Secret. I didn't even have a size for what my chest size was. So I was like, oh. And so I love now that they're talking about bringing it back, and that they're going to like bring in all shapes and sizes, all, even they specialize in intimates and like lingerie, and they're going to show all different types, because they just had the cookie cutter. We all know the Victoria's Secret models and what they looked like. Yeah.
And like, I was like everyone else, like I looked forward to it. That was our Super Bowl for so long. Like, it was so glamorous, and it was like how much you wanted to walk in it. But like you said, no one on earth looked like that, because even those girls only looked like that for one night. Like, when you saw the training they did and the specific things they ate, like that was such like, why it was so unrealistic. It's like, they don't even look like that. Like, and they're the most beautiful women on earth, and like they only look like that for like one day, with making sure every ab was like, it was like a bodybuilding prep is what they always did. And like realize, and so I'm so excited for like that glam to come. And just like you said, it's a night of just like glitter and sparkly and sexiness, but it doesn't mean you have to look like we all know the type, and there's nothing wrong, but it's just like you said, it was so unrealistic, and it was just
it would just make you feel. I think that's why I didn't really watch it. I just was like, felt like, what, a little crummy. I definitely had confidence issues, and even recently, it's sad because that industry still is very much like that. They are making strides and they are trying to change, but you will still see that as a norm. So like, I think it was about a year ago, or maybe 2 years, I was reached out to a really large modeling agency, and they were like, hey, we're looking for athletic models, is how they described it, like more athlete looking. We think you'd be a good fit. I responded back, and I was like, let's talk. I'm kind of interested. Like, I don't model, but flattered, and I don't have the model body. I have, different shape of body than typical models. So I was like, oh, okay, let's hear him out. He's like, send me your measurements, send me how much you weigh, send me pictures of, you're clothed, but like you in like leggings and whatever. And so I send it to him, and he's like, yeah, you wouldn't fit the sample size. Thank you though.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I understand, I guess, quality or quantity wise, like maybe you only have the samples for them to try on. But also I'm like, that's what's messed up, is like, you should celebrate all shapes and sizes. The girls that have the big calves and the big thighs like I do, like, just because I can't fit your typical sample size, but it gave me the ick. I just was like, that's just not even the way I would want someone to respond. You don't fit the sample size. You're not small enough. And I'm like, bitch, you asked me as an athletic model. I'm not trying to go after runway. You were asking, I wanted someone athletic, muscular. And I just was like, okay. And like, I didn't have my hopes up, but I just was like, oh, gross. People still talk this way? Like you can't fit into the sample size? Gross.
That's the crazy thing. And like, I don't even have like a comment for that, because I don't know what the fashion industry, when we're talking like high fashion, where it's like we print off and they're expensive pieces. So yeah, they just have the one size, and the models, I hate to say it, they just treat them like you're a walking coat hanger, go. And like, this is the size you have to. And like, that's such a toxic, not to overuse that word, like industry. And I don't know, like, thank God commercial is a lot more of like, we need athletic, we need this, we need every size. Like, you know, if you go look on, we were talking about Lulu, you'll see every type of diversity. Skims even, they had, you know, the girl in the wheelchair, and that was there. Like so many, I was shopping, I saw that, I was like, oh my God, amazing. Like we're getting that in like regular consumer products. I don't know the fashion world. That's crazy. Like that's a whole conversation itself, and I think it'd be interesting to talk to models who are in the thick of it right now and that industry, and if they've noticed it's changed, or if it's just as brutal as ever when it comes to high fashion. But that, you know,
who's a good I was going to make a recommendation if anyone's ever interested. I met this really sweet girl at this Knot event when we were getting married, all these couples, and she is a fashion model, disability. She was in a car crash when she was, you know, a young child, and she models, and like then she met her fiance, and he models as well, and he was a pharmacist, but he has this unique look. So now they model together. Her name is Brie. I don't know if I can pronounce it. Brie Skesse, like Scalesse. If you guys ever want to check her out, she like speaks on, you know, disability, and also like what's it like being a model with disability, and like you know, the corruption, but also she gets to like walk in these high-end runways, and I'm just like, that is the coolest thing. So when I met her, I was like, oh my God, what is it like to be a model? And she was literally showing us how to pose. Like I was like, please Brie, show me your ways, and just I thought it was so cool. But yeah, it's a good outlet if you are interested in that. She talks a lot on her platform and just like kind of brings it to awareness.
Oh my God, I'm going to go follow her right after. I'm so excited to see. That's amazing. Oh, I love. This also reminds me, I think, a good thing to wrap it up. One thing I will say Kim did say, and this made me really excited. I was like, oh, thank you. And let's do a bit more of it. So back to the headline was her workout routine. She's obviously sharing it because she has workout clothes. She's promoting it for Skims, But at the end, there's one photo, and she was like doing lunges or something, and you could see her arm definition. She had like some tricep, and she did comment, she's like, I know this isn't like an arm workout, but look at that like the tricep arm definition. I was like, thank you. Like, I know it sounds so basic, but like how long women were scared of muscle, and then muscle kind of came in, and then I almost don't even want to say the heroin chic, because now that when you think about it, how problematic that term is, but that's coming back, and they're kind of, everyone's blaming them for it. I was like, okay, let's promote. And she even said, like, I want to gain muscle and strength. Should she be working out 5 to 6 times a week, weightlifting 2 hours a day? That's a different conversation. But I'm just like, I appreciate that. And just realizing she has a lot of like impressionable women watching that are like, oh, she's losing weight, she's getting smaller, like I should get smaller. And so I was like, let's promote women getting stronger and athletic and building strength and muscle, and not just body size and getting a bigger butt and that. So I was like, you know, I know it's so simple, but I was like, oh, that's important. That's important.
I agree. Especially even with her age, like osteoporosis, like just normalizing like, hey, I want to be strong. So as I continue to age, I can combat whatever comes my way. Like my mom, she fell and hit her hip, and my mom is 61, great shape. This woman runs every day, and she lifts weights, does her resistance training, and she went to the doctors to get it checked out. And they basically were like, yeah, it's just, you know, just really badly bruised. And her friend actually brought up the point. She's like, I think it's because you've been taking care of your body. You know, usually at 61, you fall that hard on your hip, you're going to have something that's more detrimental, where she did acupuncture and she's good to go. And like, she just had to heal for a couple weeks. But she was talking about how important that is at that age group to like remember building muscle and resistance training, and like also normalizing like cardio and running for, you know, heart health. And I just thought that was so cool that, you know, she's 61, she was able to combat that, where sometimes you hear just the worst, you know, they can't necessarily like get better with just acupuncture, you know? So
Yeah.
it's just a nice reminder, because Kim also is older, and there's so many ages that follow her. And so why wouldn't you normalize, do whatever fun physique goals when you're younger, but at the end of the day, when you're older, there's a reason you're building your muscle. There's a reason you're trying to combat whatever happens.
Exactly. And like heart health and muscle health is so important to longevity. Like the number one killer in the US is heart disease. And then it's a leading cause is just like falls. As crazy as it sounds, like, and the two best things for that, according to doctors, I'm not a doctor, but it's typically cardio for your health. There's a lot of other factors, but also then just resistance training is one of the most easiest way to keep your bone strength. And not to use my mom, also be like, oh, my mom, but my mom's never had any bone injuries or anything, and she's fallen off bikes. She's done all that, and whenever she goes to the doctor to get her bone density tested, they're always like, your bone density is like in the 1%. You're phenomenal. And what does she do? She just always kept running, always kept weightlifting. And it's not that deep. Like, it's not like either of them have this crazy structured program. They just kept with it. Yeah. Instead of falling victim to this size of body type is in. It's like lift regardless of whatever society is saying body type is in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I love that. Go moms.
Woo! Love it for them. Love it. They're flourishing. We should be more like our moms.
Flourishing. 16 Amazing. Flirty. Well, I don't know how old your mom is, but
I won't expose for her.
My mom is okay with it.
I love that.
She's going to call me up because she does listen to our podcast. She'll be like, Savannah, oh my God, did you have to? And I'm like, I'm so sorry, Mom.
We'll just bleep it out each time. I'm like, bleep. She's just 33.
Yeah. Well, it was her brother's birthday, and I was on the phone with him yesterday, and I'm like, happy birthday, Uncle Brian. Happy 39th. He was like, wow, thank you so much.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But always got to lower it.
I thought we'd wrap it up here then, that we've got a confession session. And this one's nice and simple. And I just wanted to see your face expression when I read it. So if you didn't know, you can follow us on Hitting the Bars Instagram. You can submit us a confession session if you want some advice, some not professional advice, just two girls that like to work out and drink, or if you just want to get something off your chest. And Vic had one. She said, I hate hip thrusts. And I was like, you know what? Hot take.
It is.
It might be the most beloved one. And I was like, you know what? When you really think about it, do we really I love what hip thrusts do, but do we all really it might be the worst exercise when you think about it. You're in the gym, awkwardly, people knowing, you can't look at some hip thrusting and not thinking you're thrusting. And also, it's so awkward always. You got to set it all up. You got to get under. It hurts the tailbones. I was like, you know what? Hot take. I too hate hip thrusts.
You're basically humping weight.
Literally. It might be the worst exercise when you think about it. When you're like, oh, if I could eliminate an exercise and get the benefits something else, I don't know what. I think I might eliminate hip thrusts.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything more awkward than a hip thrust, but no, for the most part, everybody's thinking it.
Yeah. Donkey kicks are also not that great, but they're not as embarrassing.
Yeah.
They're just a little awkward
a fire hydrant. Yeah.
Ooh, fire hydrant. Good call. You can't think of a dog, not think of a dog peeing when you do them. At least I can't. That's all I think about.
I saw something on, I think it was on Reels, and it was like this girl said, she was recording herself squatting. And this guy came up to her and told her hey, you can see blood on your leggings. She had just bled through her leggings.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, what do the comments say? And the comments were saying oh, thank God he told her. And then there's some comments that were saying I would be weirded out. Why are you looking there? And I'm like, what would you think? How would you react?
I think it all depends. I hate to say it depends how cute the boy is. Let's just say it. I think this is going to be I hate to say it, that's going to influence. But in the moment, that would be the most humiliating thing, having someone. But then right after, you'd be like, I'm so glad that at least I can do something for, it's I only had 20 minutes of embarrassment versus going home, getting home and realize you had an extra hour of embarrassment and walking home and all this. I was like, I'd rather them say something. And I'm like, Same. I just hope it wasn't.
Maybe how they approach it.
Yes, how they say it. And then one of two things. If it was your gym crush, first of all, that would be the most humiliating thing to have your gym crush be the one to say. But then that's husband material. That's what you want. So I was like, that's kind of a green flag.
He notices you.
Oh, true.
You know?
Or that could be the beginning of a relationship.
Yeah, actually.
Could be.
Meet cute.
Imagine. Oh, but also I was like, just tell people. I was like, I've learned, just be that person. Go tell people.
I agree. I do think maybe I would feel less weird if a guy came up to a girl and said, maybe go tell her. I don't know, honestly. I think, like, depending on it, like you said, how they approach it, if they're creepy, yeah, you'd be like, get away. But at the same time, if it's something, you know, maybe they're just like, hey, I want you to know, you know, and you're squatting, maybe just glances over and maybe it was big stain. I have no idea.
Yeah. Or maybe the call is the guy just goes to like a woman trainer and is like, I don't want to embarrass this girl, but maybe that's the call. If you're a guy, I don't know who's listening, but if you don't know, you don't want to be like, oh, I'm creepily looking, just go find a trainer. There's the hack.
That's a great idea. Or like front desk or something. Be like, I'm not trying to be weird. Yeah. But there are some weirdos, so I don't know.
Then there's also, theoretically, he could be the dude who's just been staring at her butt for 8 months, and he finally had an excuse to go talk to her. Like, ooh,
to admit it.
I was like, I hate to say it, no matter how cute he is. If he's how creepy it is, we're all hypocrites.
That's kind of like, I mean, even I think of how Michael really, like, he's asked me out like 8 different times before I said yes, and I'm like, I've met people that are like, oh my god, this guy is relentless, and they don't like him. And he's not cute. And they're like, leave me alone. And then there's people that you are interested in that you think it's endearing. So it really just goes either way.
Oh, fully. It like literally, I could just think of everything Meg's done with me and put it on someone I'm not into. I'm like, oh, worst human. And then I'm like, oh my God, I love him. We're all hypocrites. I mean,
absolutely.
We're all, and you know what? Just to wrap up this episode, we're always the villain in someone else's story.
Absolutely. There you go. You're always the villain. Don't forget that. And if you say, oh, I don't think I've ever been the villain, it's a lie. Think deeper. Yeah. There's got to be something in your world, in your life. If you are around our age, something has happened. Yeah.
You just might not realize it. You've definitely cut someone off in traffic that ruined their day. You just don't realize it.
Yep. Absolutely.
And on that note, we're going to put a bow tie on this episode. You can follow us at Hitting the Bars, Instagram, and TikTok. We're on TikTok.
Yep, we're on TikTok. Oh, also leave us a review. You know, if you want to write into, I think it's Apple Podcasts that you can actually like write a written review, or if you just
Spotify.
I know. I'm like, we have a lot of Spotify girlies. So that's cool too. But yeah, we just like the feedback.
Yeah, appreciate it. And I appreciate you.
Yes, appreciate you. All right, well, we will see you next episode, I guess.
Bye-bye.
Bye.